welcome to my journey through the Baltics. My name is Claire Hawkins, I'm a traveling singer-songwriter, and this is the third installment of my series in Lithuania. In today's video, we're going to be going over some of the top things to do here in the capital city of Vilnius. Behind me, there are two churches right next to each other. So this one is the Church of St. Francis of Assisi, and this one is St. Anne's Church. By the dark of a red light, by the grace of a frozen moon, there's a fire outside. Unfortunately, St. Anne's Church doesn't open until 3 o'clock today, and it's only 1. So for now, I think we're gonna go grab some lunch. And they just came up from the roof, and I never knew I could be this young. Next on the agenda is heading up this big hill to the last remaining tower from the old city walls. Vilnius has had a lot of issues with this hill collapsing, so they've actually invested, I think, over 20 million euro into keeping this hill. It's obviously very important and historic. It looks like you do have to come around to the backside here to get up. You do have the option to take a funicular or walk, but I think it's a nice day. We're gonna walk. I hate to admit that this climb was more intense than I anticipated. It's lovely, but seeing people go up in the funicular, maybe we'll take it down. From up here, you have a great view of the Hill of Three Crosses, not to be confused with the Hill of Crosses, which is not in Vilnius, but we did go yesterday, so you can check out that video on my channel if you want. Now, walking up here is free, but there's a museum you can buy tickets for inside the tower, which I definitely want to do, and luckily, even though it's a Monday and most museums are closed on Mondays here, it's open every day, so we don't have to worry about that. One of the exhibits here talks about the Baltic Way. This was a human chain of 2 million people holding hands, and it stretched through all 3 of the Baltic states, starting in Tallinn in Estonia, went through Riga in Latvia, and of course ended here in Vilnius. This was only a few months before Lithuania actually declared its independence, and then the other 2 Baltic states did so not long after. The Baltic Way happened in August of 1989, and then it was in March of 1990 that Lithuania got its independence. Somehow we are up here for a moment without any crazy wind, so I can actually talk to the camera and say that this is one of the most impressive 360 panoramic views. I think that this is an absolute must here in Vilnius.
Don't speak
It is another sunny, beautiful day here in Vilnius. Today's main activity is that we're gonna go explore Lukiškės Prison. It's a very famous prison complex here. It's no longer active, so we're gonna take a tour and learn all about its history. But first, we're passing by this market, so I think we're gonna go check it out. The Google Maps Street View camera car just went by, so if you're ever looking at the street view of Hall Market here in Vilnius, you might see us. We have made it here to Lukiškės Prison. This was an active prison up until as recently as the year 2019, which is pretty crazy to think about. Nowadays, you can take tours of the old prison cells, but you can also come here for things like concerts and raves and art installations. It's a really fascinating place, and I'm excited to learn a bit more. I will say I don't know exactly how much photo and video is allowed inside the prison, but I'll capture what I can. The tour just ended. We're gonna grab a little drink from the bar here in the main courtyard. I want to say, I think that tour was super worth it. The tour was 2 hours long. It cost 20 euros per person. The guides are super knowledgeable, and in fact, some of them even used to be guards here and have come back as tour guides. So depending on who you get, you might get a very interesting insider perspective. One thing I want to say is that while this is an incredibly cool place to be, obviously they got the bar, the concert venue, the music studios, it's also very heavy. I think it's really important to keep in mind that this is not ancient history. This maximum security prison was still active up until 5 years ago. So the juxtaposition of the cool bar music venue vibe with the truly horrific events that happened here, the horrible living conditions, it's a little bit difficult. All that said, I really enjoyed this tour. I learned a lot, and this was one of the most unique things I've done in the Baltics. So personally, I recommend it.
We're not keeping track.
I knew I had to come back to Užupis before I left Lithuania because of border control. This isn't actually border control. Užupis is not a real republic, so you don't need any sort of visa in reality. However, if you go, they have stamps there. They will give you a visa stamp. It's important to note you should not put it in your actual passport because it's not a real stamp, but I brought my travel journal and I'm gonna ask them to stamp it for me. The woman working here could not have been nicer. She asked me if I was Irish, and I said, well, sort of. I have Irish citizenship. And she gave me a special green St. Patrick's Day stamp. We asked her why they have a St. Patrick's Day stamp, and she said, I don't know, we just really like St. Patrick's Day here. The other thing she said when she gave me my visa was, if you see a cat, show them your visa, and that is because Užupis has a cat president. Somehow, tomorrow is already the last day of my adventure through the Baltics. I have another video coming next week, so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. But for now, I'm gonna leave you here and say thank you so much for watching. I have just had the best time in Vilnius. I really, really love this city, and I can't wait to come back again soon. If you liked the music in this video, it is one of my original songs. You can find it linked in the video description or on any music site by searching Claire Hawkins. Please leave me a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. Have you been to Vilnius? Are you planning a trip? I'd love to hear. This journey through the Baltics has been an absolute adventure, and it's been so fun sharing it with all of you. Thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for the next chapter coming next week. I'll talk to you then.
I'm working walking on my foreign